Okay, even though I've completely switched over into DaVinci for editing, I still am a slave to the Adobe ecosystem for After Effects. I use it a ton for a bunch of different things and graphics, and one of those things is rotoscoping. And recently, Adobe came out with Rotobrush 3.0. I'm going to put it head-to-head with DaVinci Resolve's Magic Mask. I'm going to see which one's actually faster and which one's more efficient. And maybe it's one more less thing that I can leave inside the Adobe ecosystem. So let's test it out. Okay, so I shot a couple clips and we're gonna throw them on the computer and run some time trials on After Effects and DaVinci. So let's get into the screen recordings. Okay, so here we are in After Effects beta and we're gonna rotoscope this clip using Rotoscope 3.0. So we're gonna double click into our comp layer and we're gonna highlight our rotoscope tool and just start drawing. And as soon as we start drawing, you'll see the rotoscope effect actually come up and we can make sure we're on version 3. That's the new version, and you'll be able to see all the highlights of what it's actually doing. So let's just make sure it's grabbing all of these. In both programs within DaVinci and After Effects, if you just hold Option, you can subtract your little selection there. So I think that's a pretty great selection. At this point, all we have to do is press spacebar and it will start tracking. So usually one thing I always check is use motion blur whenever I'm using Roto. I find it actually makes a more natural track, but because I'm not really moving in the frame and just for time purposes right now, I'm gonna leave it off. Okay, great. So you can see by all the green that it's actually tracked, and if we just scrub through here, you can see that it's done a great job. It's not a hard clip, so I just feel like it shouldn't have that much trouble. Okay, so there is quite a bit of chatter around my head, and just to get rid of that, you can just bump up this percentage here. And just to make it a little bit smoother on my hair, we're gonna click this Refine Edge tool and just draw right over the hair. And because we did that, we're going to need to retrack and to make sure the whole timeline is green. So we're gonna press spacebar and just wait for it. Okay, great. So now that we're done tracking, we can just hit this freeze button and that will just lock in the track that we just did. So after that step, you're done. You can either export the composition right from there or just use a dynamic link or work right in After Effects. Okay, the footage you're watching right now was done with After Effects Rotobrush 3.0, and I'll put all the details of how long it took and everything else behind me. Okay, so here's our clip that we have inside DaVinci Resolve, and we're going to hop over into the color page to start our Roto. So I already have a bit of a color correction here. I'm gonna add one more node, and I'm going to call this one just Magic Mask, because that's what rotoscoping is called inside DaVinci Resolve. And to start your Magic Mask, just come down here to this icon, and it's really simple. All you have to do is go into your frame and just draw some lines. And you may not know where it's highlighting, but you can come over here to this button and press highlight. Now you can see exactly what's going on. And then if you come down here, you can change the options for the highlight. So let's try to pick up everything that it's leaving out. So I need this arm, I need the bottom of me, and I need this arm. So that looks pretty good. We did minimal work, and all we have to do to track this is hit these arrows forward and back and let it do its thing. Okay, that looks like it did a great job, actually. If I just subtract this, you can see exactly what it got. Okay, so I've gone into the edit page and I've duplicated our Magic Mask and I've put a title in between. On the bottom clip here, I've deactivated the Magic Mask, so it's just the normal clip. Then I've added a title, and then on the top, that's where our Magic Mask is, but it's not coming through for some reason. To make sure that we just get the mask that we created or the rotoscope, we just have to add an alpha output. And that's just this little blue guy right here. And we're gonna take the Magic Mask and we're gonna take the blue output and connect it to the blue. And as soon as we go back to the edit page, now it's working as it should. So let's play this back. This clip that you're watching right now is done with DaVinci's Magic Mask, and I'll put all the details and everything, how long it took, behind me. I think this is actually great for how fast we actually did this. There's a little bit of chatter in this area. How long it took, behind me. And I think that we could easily fix that if we just went back into our magic mask and just took out some of that sky by maybe turning up blur a bit and just moving the in and out ratio a little bit, as well as maybe just the entire radius. Okay, and as we're refining here, if I just come in with the same tool and I hold Option, I can draw on the parts that I don't want and it creates this red line and it helps just clean up. But you do have to track again. Okay, it's not perfect, but it definitely was quick and efficient. This clip that you're watching right now is done with DaVinci's Magic Mask, and I'll put all the details and everything, how long it took, behind me. Okay, looking at these two final results side by side, you can't really tell the difference on which program created which, and that's great because I'm basically making this video to begin with to figure out which tool I should use for the task at hand. So for rotoscoping, to save 5 minutes if I'm doing it in DaVinci is exactly what I'm gonna do. And it's just one less thing I have to rely on Adobe for. Thanks for watching. If you like videos like these, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.